All right, everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we have some major news tonight. Huge update on the next era coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It is Revenge of the Sith themed. I am pumped. A lot of us have speculated that this was coming to line up with the 20th anniversary. We've got a bunch of new characters coming into the game, not just the next legendary character who we'll talk about, but Lord Vader getting a massive rework, 4 new dark side clones to go with Lord Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin getting a rework, so much more to talk about, speculation, and we can start thinking about what you want to be doing to prepare for this next raid. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be fun, but it's new content, and it's something that this game has been waiting for. We've been waiting for this next raid, and we're finally getting that information so you can start doing the best you can do to prepare for it. Let's go ahead, give a huge shout out to our channel members for your continued support. If you're ever interested, that link is below, along with a link to Discord. Go check it out. Thank you guys again for keeping the faith, for all your belief, and just all the effort you've put in. I really appreciate you guys. Let's get in here. Let's talk about this massive update. All right, so we're going to flip over to the screen capture here, and the fat face is not in the way, so we're all right. So, hello Holotable era heroes, and welcome to Revenge of the Sith. This is where the fun begins. That is absolutely going to be the title of my post, by the way. So, Revenge of the Sith is celebrating its 20th anniversary, and starting April 8th, you'll begin your journey in the first episode of the era, going after Darkside clones CC1119, Oppo, and CX2. Oppo was featured in the Umbara arc with Pong Krell. So, just speculating a little bit here, I think we could be getting Pong Krell getting Oppo in there. I could be wrong, but I'm wondering if we're going to be getting Oppo. And then CX2 is that clone that we saw in the Bad Batch, that assassin type clone. So I'm really pumped about those two characters. That's going to be really, really cool to see those. Then we have 2 other Darkside clone troopers coming into the game. Again, very curious as to who those could be. Maybe we get a Darkside version of Cody. We could get a Darkside version of Crosshair, which could be really, really cool. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to kind of see the direction that they head with this. And then we're getting 2 new Jedi Vanguards. Now, those 2 new Jedi Vanguards are separate from Jocasta Nu, and they're going to be separate from something else. They flat out say here, the 4 new Darkside clone troopers are designed to thrive together under Lord Vader's leadership. So recognize what that means. Maul, Royal Guard, Thrawn, all of them are going to be moving away from the Lord Vader team and getting replaced by these clones. That is awesome news and really, really exciting for us to be heading in this direction. And this is going to be a first for SWGO. This is a brand new team for an existing galactic legend. They have never just gone right out and said, we're replacing your entire team. I think this is a huge moment for Capital Games, because it's a recognition that Lord Vader has never really done what they want him to, and I feel like this is going to be their way to make sure that this dude all of a sudden is kicking skulls in, and a lot of you who have not farmed him before are going to start regretting it. And what this also means is that if you have a Lord Vader, but you have the older version, you're not going to have as good of a Lord Vader. So there's going to be levels to Lord Vader here. And all of these characters will be required at the end of the era to unlock the Jedi Vanguard leader. I'm going to pause the music here for a second so you guys can hear Meathead's wonderful voice as he describes this.
In the purple corner, hailing from Harun Tall, coming in at an astonishing 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. You love him. You need him. He is your people's champion, legendary Mace Windu.
So, you heard it there. Legendary Mace Windu coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as the legendary-ish character for this era. The Lord Vader raid, final name TBD. Relive the harrowing events of Order 66, where Lord Vader, along with his elite division known as Vader's Fist, stormed the Jedi Temple. Players must race against time to attempt to rescue as many Jedi as possible from the onslaught. Just the wording there is really interesting, this race against time element. Is this going to be a raid where there's a time feature to it? Which that could be very, very cool if one of the complaints that some of us have had in the past is that some of these attempts take a really long time. If there's hey, this is going to be a 5-minute fight or a 7-minute fight, that could be a very interesting change from where we are now. While we don't have any additional information to provide at this time, the new raid will be open to these units. New Bad Batch Squad, Era of Revenge of the Sith characters, as well as, and then the transmission is lost. So, we're not going to get the full picture, but you can at least know that these new Revenge of the Sith characters and the new Bad Batch Squad are going to be able to be used in this next raid. They do say, note, while Lord Vader is the ideal leader for these dark side clones, he himself is not an allowed unit in this raid. Grand Moff Tarkin will be receiving a rework in an upcoming release to bring him back into relevance. He will lead the dark side clones in raid, as well as in general for players who don't yet own Lord Vader. More information to come as we get closer. So Grand Moff Tarkin getting a massive rework, which he's going to be the leader of the clones, which is awesome. The nice thing for a lot of us who have invested in Lord Vader is you already have a Relic 7 Grand Moff Tarkin at your disposal. Many of us have Zetas on him, so that's good to go there. Then we've got 2 new era battles. Nightfall. Execute Order 66. Enter the Jedi Temple with your Darkside clone troopers and take on any Jedi who's standing your way. Notice any is in all caps. That's a very interesting choice of editing there. I have to say, this sounds awesome. Like, my favorite, if you played Star Wars Battlefront 2, not the shit that they released later, the original one from 2005. Sorry, my cat was scratching at my couch, and I had to chuck my pen at him to get him to stop. The 2005 Star Wars Battlefront 2 is goated, and my favorite mission in that is the Jedi Temple. I could play that on repeat. It was just so much fun. So that is going to be really, really cool. And then Era Battle 2, Crimes Against the Republic. Use the Jedi Vanguards from the Era of Revenge of the Sith and arrest Darth Sidious, or try to. What is an Era Battle? Era Battles are similar to Assault Battles, but for a limited time, playable during and shortly after the associated era and requiring era-obtained units. Will these replace Assault Battles? They will run live alongside Assault Battles. So right there, what you're beginning to see is a new way for them to, potentially monetize these characters, right? They're going to get you to work on them, but it's only going to be for a short time. So depending on what these rewards are, for some of you, it's going to be a must. And for others, maybe it's, all right, you've got to do the, ROI, which I'm sure our great friend Egnards will provide for us. They've then gone ahead and update for the episode shipments. And I wanted to just pay attention to this section right here. The focus datacrons are for Boba Fett Sign of Django, Dr. Aphra, Hera Syndulla, and Zalbar. So, kind of a mixed bag of characters there, but the Boba Fett Sign of Django and Aphra ones are staring me in the face and really want me to buy them. So, we'll have to keep paying attention to those. Again, otherwise, when you look at the characters we can purchase here, Asajj, Tech, Death Trooper, Rex, Tarful, Arc Trooper, Seer, Anakin, and Cody. There's a couple of interesting choices here, and the ones I want to point out are Tarful, who there's a potential, maybe we get Gungi, right? He could be a Jedi Vanguard. And the other one that I really want you to pay attention to is Death Trooper, Imperial Remnant. Why those characters? There's normally a reason that, they kind of, build into something. All the rest of that stuff. And then they've got the episode tracks, and where I want you to just pay attention here is that CX2 and Oppo, those marquee units are going to have an additional 20 shards inside of that episode pass. Again, I am somebody that I have bought every single episode pass, and the extra characters that are, how do I phrase this? The character shards that are provided are just so valuable. Like, they help you get such a huge head start over other players because they get you into the tier 4 of their marquee unit or the marquee battle, so you get a lot more there. So, a lot of news to hit you with all at once. Now, how does this impact you as a player? And I want to kind of pay attention to this, section here and this section here. So, here's the thing with, what's going on in the game right now, kind of, what are you working on? What are you doing? Here's what I'm going to say. This new Bad Batch, if you are free to play, I'm probably looking at you to start building this soon if you're looking for one of these new teams to build. From an ease perspective, this will be the answer. Because they're going to be, Omega is farmable now. The rest of these characters will begin to become farmable extremely soon. Whereas the Jedi Vanguards, we don't know a time frame there. These new clone troopers that are coming into the game, we don't have a time frame for when they'll be farmable. So if you're free to play and you're kind of thinking about, all right, Phil, what can I get the fastest? The answer's pretty obvious that it's going to be the new Bad Batch. In terms of value to your account, that's where I would argue that things are going to change. Because in my opinion, this new era of these characters here, the Jedi Vanguards and the Dark Side Clone Troopers, that's going to be where the value is. Because again, it's going to unlock the epic version of Mace Windu, and then also end up being the home for Jocasta Nu, who is the if we go over here into our everybody's favorite game mode, Conquest, Jocasta is that Jedi Vanguard, so she's going to go inside of that Mace Windu team. So you can figure that, hey, if you build these characters, you've got the Lord Vader team, you've got the characters for Jocasta Nu and Mace Windu, and you're good to go. So I think from a ease perspective, the new Bad Batch is going to be the way to go. If you're looking for bang for your buck, I would go a little bit harder into the new clone troopers and into the Jedi Vanguard there. So, does this mean you farm Lord Vader right now? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say you shouldn't, because he's a great galactic legend and he's going to get even friggin' better. But I think for a lot of you, what you're going to have to reconcile is the balance between the need to farm these new things while also finishing up the projects that you're working on. I think for a couple of you where you've bought a lot of the Lightspeed bundles and, you're kind of like, all right, I'm really short on this, I'm really short on that, going after these new characters might be a breath of fresh air for you. Which sounds crazy, but think about working on a project for a couple of months again, instead of doing these little, okay, I'm going to finish this GL, and I'm going to finish this GL, and I'm going to finish this GL. I think for a couple of you, this is your chance to springboard into these newer farms. Because you need something to kind of really sink your teeth into for a while and allow some of those other resources that you are short on to catch up. Imagine that you're going to be working on these new clone troopers where, all right, I'm going to equip this Zeta, I'm going to equip this Zeta, but at that time, you have all these other ones that you're able to equip on the teams that you've already been investing in. So I think this is a good opportunity for those of you in that mid game to finally sink your teeth into a big farm, depending on what your account looks like. For those of you in the end game, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not farming the Bad Batch already, you're an idiot. Because you have to be keeping up with the game. There's no reason you shouldn't already be farming Omega. There's not that much else for you to be doing in this game. Your shards are the biggest thing you get behind on. And once you get behind on shards, it becomes almost impossible to catch back up. It takes so many resources to catch back up. You've got to be on top of it. And again, if you are someone who is, okay with spending money, these episode passes, guys, for the extra shards you're getting can be well worth it to help you along your path. So, a lot of really, really cool news coming. Lord Vader rework, Grand Moff Tarkin rework, new clones, Revenge of the Sith content. I mean, you'll love to see it, right? You absolutely love to see it, especially for Grand Moff Tarkin. I mean, this guy has been completely disrespected by this game for a long time. I can't wait to actually have this Zeta mean something and equip it on him. I used to have some pretty damn good mods on this guy, and he unfortunately has just fallen pretty friggin' far. That's the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, comment. I love you all. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.